Today I'm going to show you how to start your worm's eye view of your city for our color project. We're going to start by finding the center of the paper. So we're going to go corner to corner, and just in the center area here, I'm going to make a line. Doesn't have to be dark, just enough so that you can see where it is. Okay, so corner to corner made an X, and we found the center of our paper, so I'm going to mark that with a dot. Then I'm going to use an album. This is Understanding Op Art, I don't know. We used to have film strips where you would have to listen to an album and crank the little slides. Now you got Google Slides and all that. I know, I'm old. Okay. So we're going to center the circle, the little hole that's in the middle of the album. I'll zoom in so you can see. So that's centered over the center of the paper where we made that X. I'm going to trace around, hold it firmly in place, trace it around. Okay, so now we have the circle. I'm going to keep that X there just for a little bit. Actually, we're going to extend the X. So we're going to go ahead and divide this into 4 parts. Now for our color wheel, we're going to actually need 12 parts. So, because we're going to do primary, secondary, and then tertiary. There's 3 primary, 3 secondary, 6 tertiary. That all adds up to 12. Okay, so now what we need to do is divide each of these 4 sections into 3. For the purpose of this project, it does not have to be even division. So just as long as you get 3 parts here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and they all need to go through the center. So I'm going to line up my ruler. The great thing is you can do 2 sides at once. Then I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to go across from here through the center to the other side. So I already have 2 sections done. I have to make 2 more lines to divide this up. That one went a little bit out of the middle. Okay, so now I have all of these parts. Now I need to decide, okay, what shape do I want the buildings to be, or how tall do I want them to be? So what I'm going to do is just kind of look and see. If you think about cities, here, hold on a second, let me get a book. I'll be right back. So this book happens to be one of the ones I have on the bookshelf, and Above Chicago by Robert Cameron. It's mostly a picture book showing different parts of Chicago. So, but this one has a really nice view of the skyline, one of the many pretty views of the skyline. And so you can see some buildings, if I zoom in, hopefully, there we go, a little bit better. Some buildings have diamond shapes at the top, some are flat across the top. Some buildings, like the John Hancock, have antennas that are sticking up, so there's lots of different lines we can use for the tops of our buildings. Sears Tower here has like a stair step top. This one is almost like a church top. Cool story about these 2 buildings here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little bubble at the top. Those were originally designed to be heliports for dirigibles. You know, like they had, the Hindenburg was a blimp that caught on fire, and they had a huge tragedy where it, I believe several people died. But before that, they had designed these that you would actually park your blimp here, and there was a little door that you would walk carefully downstairs into that. I don't know who would be crazy enough to do that, but it doesn't matter. We're not doing it anymore. So, all right. Oh my gosh, I had to open the book to figure out that, or close the book to see that we had the skyline on the back. Ta-da! Alright, so here we go. Making the building tops. You can use your ruler or you can freehand it. Here's one building, and as I draw the buildings, here, let's do a freehanded this one. I can also use my eraser to erase the lines going back to that vanishing point. It'll just help me keep track of where my buildings are. Okay. That one I'm going to leave at an angle. Let's make this one have, let's give this one a dome. Okay. Maybe this one will do a stair step. This is a nice wide building, so let's see, we could do and some of these lines I'm going to have to straighten out with the vanishing point in a minute, and I'll explain why. The all of the lines that are vertical should go back to the vanishing point. If you're making a horizontal line, it does not need, like this one here, does not need to go back to the vanishing point. But anything that is vertical, such as this, should go back to the vanishing point. But for the sake of speed, I'm going to go ahead and do the lines going across. Alright, so I briefly paused so that I could go ahead and finish up the tops on some of these. Now let's go back and straighten some of this out. So I'm going to line up my vanishing point and just kind of make sure that I have the correct angle, because these should look like they're getting smaller. The top should get smaller as they get closer to that vanishing point. And again, this is why we do this in pencil and try to keep it light, so that way when you do have to make adjustments, you can do that. I know that the YouTube videos always show beautiful artwork done in 30 seconds or less. However, that's not reality. There have been paintings that I've worked on for several months at a time, and in the end, if somebody said, was it worth it for you to work on it that long? Absolutely, because I got the image that I really wanted because I took my time. Alright, so I think I'm just going to kind of spin this around. I think I got all the adjustments made that I needed. Now, here's also why we needed to do that, because when we put windows and doors in here, you're going to need to use that vanishing point. So I'm going to zoom in. Alright, let's say that we want to do some of these buildings down here. This building in particular, I'm going to line up my ruler with the vanishing point up at the top there. And I'm going to put in 2 lines to make a row of windows. You just need to remember that when the windows are going closer to the top of the building, they should be close together. And then as you get further down, they should look like they're getting larger because they're getting closer to the viewer at the bottom. So remember, this is a worm's eye view. It'd be like if you were laying on the ground in the middle of the street looking up at all the buildings that are surrounding you. This should be the view you would have. Alright, and then I'm going to make, actually right here, I'm going to make this a door in between. And we're going to take out those lines there so that I can make that into a door. Once you get your building windows done and door, you can do all of your tracing at once, or you can do like one building at a time. I do have fine line Sharpies and regular Sharpies that you can use. to trace if you'd like. It's not required to trace it, but sometimes it helps, especially when you start doing your painting. It helps you to be able to see where your colors are going to go. Actually, I think, oh, I miscounted. That's okay. It's a happy accident. We'll have a little extra space around the door. Okay, and then again, you can freehand this. I probably should be using my ruler though. It'll look a little bit better because buildings are not freehand things. Okay. And let's see, we're going to make this an apartment building, and most apartment buildings have like a revolving door that has like a center part to it, and then there's the little bars that you would push that go across. Okay. And then if you wanted to add in decorations, maybe we want to put in a little awning. You could put in an address. And then I'll use a fine pen. We could put in like a little shrubbery to make it look nice for the people that live in the building. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do all of our buildings. Then at a later point, I'll show you how to put in your color.